All right, guys, welcome to the Artist Archive Podcast. It's the one you've been waiting for. I'm one of your hosts, Jeff Otto.
I'm your second host, Madison Miller.
And I'm your third host, Mike Todd. And you are probably wondering, who the hell are you? That's fair.
Very
For
fair.
now.
For now. So for me, I am, as I said, I'm Jeff Otto. Jeff Otto Creative is my brand. I am a photographer, artist, a branding specialist, social media, and I work heavily in the fashion space, but I also do a lot of commercial work, creative design, creative development. What I really love doing is creative direction, building campaigns and concepts with different, whether it's brands, clients, etc. And I am continuous building my brand.
Yeah, we love always building the brand. So my two brands that are my aliases, I would like to say, that I fall under would be Galaxy Color and Glitter Witch, because Glitter Witch just sums it all up. I don't really know how else to describe that. Is that it just sums me up as a person. It's
That
just
was
Glitter
witch,
Witch.
right?
Yeah.
Witch.
Glitter Witch.
With a W.
Maybe the B sometimes. But just saying. But I am a visual artist, a visual creative, and I would say I really love connecting to my own art. I definitely like to be experimental with the themes I portray a lot in my art, whether that's pushing the limit or seeing what's comfortable and what's uncomfortable. I definitely am there. I also have graphic design experience, project management, project coordination, creative direction, art direction, and then pretty much also kind of in the fashion industry. So I just live, breathe, consume anything visual because I just need to be constantly overstimulated. Yes. But hate it at the same time. But, we're all contradictions here.
She doesn't drink coffee either.
I'm highly caffeinated all the time.
All the time. It's crazy.
And I am Mike Todd. I have been involved in fashion since I was a child. I have been a model. I have done design. I do design now. I do production management, a little bit of model casting, hated the model tribe. And now I'm trying my hand at podcasts with these fine people. So I am just a little terrified right now. Yeah, we're good.
Oh, terrified.
Well, yeah, of course.
Why terrified, Michael?
Well,
It's because I'm here.
yes. Yes, it's because my agent, Violet, she's not speaking to me right now.
No, we're super excited about launching the Artist Archive Podcast, but because we've been talking about this for a while.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we've been planning and coordinating, and then finally now that's happening. I think we're all we're definitely all nervous. Like, oh wow, this is for real now.
Yeah.
Put me on the mic. Let's go.
Yeah. So we'd like to apologize now for everyone that we offend.
I apologize for nothing.
I'm just saying, say it with your chest, everybody. I accept that.
Right.
And if you're going to have an opinion, we can agree to disagree, and that's okay. That's all I'm going to say. Don't come for me in the comments yet. Okay? Not yet. Wait 2 episodes, and then you can. And then we'll have a discussion about it if you want.
Yeah. Give us a little buffer time, right? So you guys are probably wondering, what is the Artist Archive Podcast? Who wants to take lead on this one?
You know what? I nominate you.
Oh, I'm up. So, Artist Archive Podcast is essentially a podcast to showcase and tell the stories of artists. We want to be able to have real conversations, real insight, just that very in-depth, intimate, creative mindset, synergy.
Absolutely.
How do we define that? Just
What the Artist Archives is a collection.
Yes. A
yes.
history.
You know, a collection, a archive.
Yeah.
Hello, it's in the name. Of stories of artists in the community. Now, I personally, and I look at art as just a tree, just one great big old tree, and I look at the different forms of artwork as branches on that tree.
Love that.
And like all trees, the artists are the leaves on the tree, and the art that they produce is the fruit from that tree.
Love that.
And that's the way that I look at art, just in whole. That's just my holistic
Yes.
view. It's, it's one great big dysfunctional family.
I love that analogy.
Let's move into
Why we're doing it.
why
Yeah,
you're
why
doing
we're doing
this.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why you're doing this.
Yeah, and I would love to say like why I'm doing this podcast is really to promote our artistic community and creative community because it's lacking so much understanding of each other today. Like not even just in creative world, but I think as humans, we just don't try to understand it anymore. And I think art and culture are one of the things that make us understand and connect with each other so much more. So why not actually have real conversation and get all of that behind the scenes, the grit and everything that really happens to promote our community so we all can actually understand one another because we're not all going to be the same. It's just we're not, and that's totally okay. But why not have a community where we actually can understand and learn about each other continuously?
Definitely. And what's your reason, Michael?
My reason is because I've been around for a really long time in
Yeah.
one way or another, and been on stage and in front of cameras, and I never had a voice. I just always went where somebody pointed me. So if I can give somebody else that voice, if I can give somebody else that opportunity, that is huge for me.
Yeah.
That is absolutely huge. If I can give someone who maybe wouldn't have an opportunity
Yeah.
to step in front of the camera and say, "Hey, this is what I do. Look at me."
Yeah.
That's where it's at for me.
Absolutely.
That's the big thrill. That's the big draw to give opportunities to others.
What
It
about
really
you,
is.
Jeff?
For me, I'm on the same boat as you guys. For me, I do think artists, our voice is often lost or overshadowed. We are usually the ones behind the scenes. We are the person behind the camera, the individual in a secluded room, drawing, painting, creating the art pieces, or in the design studio, away from everyone else, doing the back end work, to
Coordinating the lineup.
The backstage.
Yes, that's a
I
big
always
part
say
of
if backstage does their job right, you don't know that they're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. And that's the same thing with design. Like great design is not meant to be noticed in
Yeah.
a way. I mean, if it's meant to be fluid, or if you're trying to go over the top, then yeah.
Yeah.
But the point is, like, if you did your job well, you won't notice it.
It's
in a way.
seamless.
It's seamless. Exactly.
Seamless,
Perfect.
yeah.
And I think because we are often lost when we're behind the scenes, that people forget about us. So creating this platform, Artist Archive Podcast, is meant to give artists that ability to
Forget
tell
about
their
us?
stories.
Nobody's ever forgotten about me.
No, I guess that's just me,
Icon behavior only.
Nobody's ever forgotten about me.
right?
Us.
Us. Like, what is this we you're speaking of? But yeah, definitely Artist Archive Podcast is to create that platform for all of us artists to be able to tell our stories. And I think another part of why I'm doing this is, as artists, we kind of build our skill sets, or artists creators, we build our skill sets, our knowledge, experiences over time. It's a very organic process, but we have a tendency to get to a point where we don't realize what we know, or even
Yes.
to the aspect of what we know is knowledge and insight that other people don't and really want and crave.
Absolutely.
And for me, I want to be able to get, or even myself, present that to individuals who are looking for that and who need that to help them grow, but also create a platform where other artists who are of the same mindset can share insight and knowledge.
Yeah, it's all about that connectivity.
That connectivity, exactly.
And that connectivity, you don't always have to agree either. That's a big thing. I think that's where you do grow, is when you don't agree with someone.
Understanding the
Are you
differences.
adult enough? Are you artist enough to see their point of view? That is a huge thing. That mutual artistic respect. Because if you don't respect me, guess what? It's gonna be a short relationship.
Yeah.
Really short.
I mean, I think that brings us into what do we want to see or don't want to see in our industry right now?
Ooh, that's a good one. So, I'll start this one. For me, I think in the industry, I want to see, you were saying this earlier, connectivity.
Yes.
I want to see more of us actually healthily and benefiting from each other and working together and trying to connect in a really positive way. And I want to see there to be a change in the community where artists are not, especially creative types, we are not devalued or taken advantage of.
Absolutely.
I think that's a big one. I think in the business world and everything we do, people think what the creatives are doing, especially even just the idea, it's not valuable, but it is. It's everything.
It's everything, and it's so interesting because, like traditional business formats, the people who make the most money are the people at the top, the executives who make all of the ideas. So it's crazy. It's just crazy living here.
Yeah.
The people at the top that make all the money, could you say that again, that have the ideas?
Yeah, so basically how a business structure normally is flowed is that executives, usually at the top, like a CEO, are supposed to make the ideas and trickle down. That's why management typically follows through tasks and stuff like that. At least that's what they teach you.
Okay, there
So
we
should
go.
be.
That's what I was waiting for. Perfect world scenario there. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, and that really brings up the topic, I think, of sweat equity.
Oh, yes.
That's a
sweat
big one.
equity.
Yeah, Michael, could you explain for us what that is?
Sweat equity, which we all do. I think I want to preface this by saying that there is nothing wrong with doing some sweat equity. We all do it. We have all done it. There is no shame in it. What we are talking about here with this is, where is that line? Where, okay, I have done this, and this with you, and now you're wanting me to do it all over again for free. You know I can do the job. I know you're making money, yet my coffers are empty.
Yeah.
That is what sweat equity is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not just, okay, everybody gets a freebie. Let me show you what I can do.
Yeah, sweat equity is definitely that point with when clients or brands are asking you to work for them, but they will bring you great exposure, but they don't want to pay you for your work. It is the opportunity for you to build and develop your skill set by working with a great brand, but they don't want to pay you at your actual fair value, right?
Yeah.
What are other examples? I've run into this a lot in my industry or in my career so
Let's
far.
collaborate.
Yeah.
Let's collaborate.
And I'll preface this: collaboration is great, but
Yeah.
there is a way to go about it, and there's that limit. Like Michael was saying, it's like, at what point is it not really valuable to you anymore?
Yeah. At what point do you feel like you're being taken advantage of? Because that's what it is. That's what it is. Let's just call it what it is. It's taking advantage of someone.
It really is.
It is understandable because creatives are very creative brain
Left
people.
brain.
Left brain.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you are a left brain person and that's the dominant hemisphere of your brain, then these business owners who are more right brain people, they're looking at you, and are they paying you what you're worth? Do they understand that you may not know exactly what you are worth?
Preying on that. That's crazy.
I mean, if you break it down, you think about it. That is how that works. Business. Everybody, and we've all worked in businesses enough to know. They want the maximum labor for
Minimum
the minimum
price.
pay.
Yep.
And if you're doing it for free, guess what? That is, wow.
That is their dream.
Yeah. You are employee of the month. Congratulations.
With no promotion.
No promotions.
Oh, there's always a promotion. They'll give you more work. That's not a problem.
Performance punishment.
Yes.
And what is performance punishment?
So essentially
define that?
what performance punishment is, at least how I would define it, is basically you're doing a whole bunch of free work or work at a really minimum price, and your employer, whoever you're working with, takes note of that. And like, okay, so I can keep giving you more, and you're going to want to prove yourself. So why not give you more? And when that promotion comes up or when that opportunity comes up and you don't get it and you're upset, they're like, well, why would I want to pay you more to do all of this work that you're already doing for free? So that's a huge issue, honestly.
I've run into that a lot.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I've definitely have clients or brands I've worked with where the moment you start asking for more, there's like, well, like, explain to me. This is my favorite line, actually. What more value am I going to get with that increase in rate? I'm like, I'm already giving you way more than you're actually returning for me in value.
Sure, but like I think for people who are emerging, that's a lot harder to kind of figure out at times.
Yeah.
Because when you're emerging, you're still somewhat learning and stuff like that. So I think sweat equity, yes, that's great to do. I think it's good to prove yourself about what you're doing. But also at the same time, don't do it so continuously where you're not getting any more experience. And I think having a gauge of like, what are you actually gaining from this is really important.
That's
Yes.
why you set the expectation
Absolutely.
going in. You know, you do. The first thing you say is, I would love to do this one for you for free. And then the next one, we'll talk about money. That means the next one, they already know you're not doing it for free. Period.
Always set the expectation early on, so both sides knows what's happening, what the expectation is, right?
Yeah. And as my mentor says, get it in writing. You know,
In writing.
she's a big one for contracts. You know, put everything in the contract. And another thing, if you're not one of those contract people, because again, left side brain, ask around, find a good friend, ask a mentor, ask someone to look over the contract for you.
Yes.
And there's lots of sites that have very standard contracts that you can just pull. You know, I think that that every creative should have a stack of contracts.
No, it's funny that I recently just helped one of my design friends because one of my, like a dad, like he's a lawyer. And I was like, yeah, send me that New York Fashion Week contract. So we're looking it over right now. And literally my dad comes in and he has like it annotated. He's like, so here's like, it just seems really general, but here are some things. It's a little loose here in the use of these photos. So, you know, even having someone with that skill set analyze that for you, that's huge. And then like getting someone to really look over that, that's very important, especially as creatives, because not all of us are business minded. I'm not. So yeah.
Funny thing, most creatives are not business minded because we think differently. And I think tying to what you were just saying is like, don't be afraid to ask for help from individuals you know who might have a skill set that you don't have.
Yeah.
You know, or help you understand something that you want more understanding. Because as creatives, we have to understand business, especially you're making it into a business.
Yeah.
Right?
It's important to know what you're good at. It's more important to know what you're not.
Yes. Facts.
If you aren't capable of something, be upfront with it. Don't put yourself in a situation where you can't do it. Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
Yeah. Don't be that person.
Don't do that to me, because I'm relying on you doing it, and then they're like, yeah, I can't do it. I'm like, what do you mean? You said you could. Now we're taking it back? That's a little crazy.
I think this is a personal thing for me. I hate the mentality of fake it till you make it. I hate overselling and under-delivering. I'm the type where it's, if you can do something, yeah, be straight up with it. Be confident with it because you know you can execute. If you can't, be honest. Because the worst thing that can happen is you say you can do something, you set the bar way too high for yourself, and at the end of the day, it actually hurts not just the client or brand or person you're working for, but also hurts you, right?
Oh, it definitely.
Yeah.
hurts
Because your
you.
reputation means a lot. And if you get the reputation of this person that, oh yeah, they couldn't execute the concept that they said they could do. They couldn't finish the job that they agreed to.
Meet the deliverables and hit the deadlines.
Please.
Always. Even if it means you are up for 3 days, do it. You know.
We all make sacrifices.
Yeah.
Some of us more than others.
Yeah. I had a brother
I
once.
feel like you said, personal experience, some more than others. So dramatic.
You know who you are. You know who you are. I remember those college essays. I remember those projects. Just saying.
We're going to get canceled, YouTube. Jesus.
We are.
Don't come for me in the comments. I keep saying that. It's okay. How fast can you make me a meme? How fast? We'll see.
Make Madison do a meme. Do it, guys.
Guys. Okay, so back to sweat equity.
Yeah.
What do you do?
You know, like,
Ooh, actually,
yeah.
What do you do? How do you? My thing is just set the expectation going in, so there's no.
Like right at the front of it?
Yes, absolutely.
set the expectation. Can we actually start out when is sweat equity beneficial?
Ooh, okay.
Well, when are situations where you might want to consider doing sweat equity? Because none of us like to work for
No one does.
free or under what we actually value. But there are situations where we can leverage certain things to be like, okay, I can make this benefit me. What are those situations?
I think you have to kind of define what is the benefit for me in this, because there's a couple things that you can benefit for. Like you can benefit for someone's network. Okay, I'm getting a connection that I need later down the line, and that relevancy of seeing me, that's important. Now I'm in their mind.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean? Could it be location even? It could be
Yeah.
location. It could be the person, again, networking.
Right.
Or, is it an experience you don't have under your belt yet? That's the whole form of an internship, right? Is getting that experience as an intern so you can add that to your resume to hopefully land a job in that. So I think when you kind of make that list of like, is it networking I'm benefiting from this? Is it maybe the location? Is it maybe, the experience? What thing are you actually benefiting from? Because, if you're doing like, for example, if let's say you're volunteering at the same fashion show for like 3 years, 4 years in a row, probably by the second year, third year for sure, you kind of know what's going to happen. So I think you need to really be upfront with yourself and figure out, what am I gaining from this and what am I learning? Because you always should be learning, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Does it take you to the next level?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's the huge question there. When you've done this, what was it you said, the same fashion show for 4 years or
Yeah.
whatever that analogy was. If you're in that, you've stayed too long. It's time to go. Wish them well and move along.
4 years.
You're not gonna really get much more out of that. And you probably should have been paid 3 years ago.
Absolutely.
Long time ago.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But if, say, you worked that and then, this came along,
Exactly.
and they say, well, look, we want you, give them
Hearsay.
give them the freebie, give them the freebie, I always say, but set that expectation.
Absolutely.
And then what's that freebie? It's the first one for free, correct?
First one for free.
Well,
That's
not
what I
always,
say.
but if you do the whole like sweat
Service.
equity, only give them one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only give them one. Because at the end of the day, by the time the event is over with, they're going to either see what you can do, see what you bring to the table, see your value, or they're not. And if they don't, then that's not an environment that you want to be in anyway.
Exactly. If
Yeah.
after that first one, they're still not willing to compensate you or give you the value that you're asking for, they're not going to see it later on. They're not going to see it by you giving them more.
Yeah.
That's something I definitely want to see more of in our industry is
Yes.
alignment. Aligning with what you work. Don't do something that's like so far out of bounds. You know what I mean? Like if you know what you want to do, try to do it. You know what I mean?
One thing I would like to see in this industry, and it does sort of, I would like to see more people going outside of their comfort zone to find inspiration.
That's a good one.
Let's say you talk to a designer and you find out what their inspiration is, and they say, "Oh, flowers."
Yep.
Okay, great, they're flowers. Why? Because those flowers were in the garden in the back. That's wonderful, great one. Maybe go to the beach. That's a very lame analogy, but you know what I'm saying. To just go outside of your comfort zone. I would like to see more, myself included. I mean, this
Experience.
is outside of my comfort zone. I would like to see. I think if creativity is a muscle, right?
Ooh.
don't you have to stretch it to build it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, same kind of a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
For
No,
sure.
I agree with that because I do think creativity definitely is one of those things that you actually have to hone and develop and
Yes.
and is the right term nurture, like
Yeah.
cultivate,
Cultivate,
There
nurture.
you go.
Nurture, yeah.
Yeah.
Nurture's the word.
It's like working out your physical body, same as working out your creative mind.
Well, I would know about all that.
Uncle's like, I'm just naturally creative all day, every day.
He's
I was
just an
born this
icon
way.
already.
Yeah.
it's like-
What's not to love?
But no, I agree with that. I actually have a habit of always wanting to explore and try something different. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. And that's a
Okay.
trait of mine. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it gets boring
It gets boring.
after a while. You know, I love every part about doing production. I absolutely love it. And one of the things
Yes, it
that
can
I
be.
love about it is no two shows are ever the same. Good or bad, no two shows are ever the same.
Like, even if it's the same people, something is going to change.
Yeah, you know, that is
Something's going to happen like that didn't happen last time. Whoops.
Yeah.
Debrief later.
Yeah, or you're going, oh, that happened. Yeah.
We all live. We all learn.
Yes.
So what?
I was actually going to capitalize on it. So, actually, back to the sweat equity idea. I think a good time to maybe utilize sweat equity is when you are trying that new thing. You know,
Yes.
It's like, I know I'm not fully skilled in this or I might not have the understanding, but I'll do this for a reduced rate. And also, preface this with the client or brand to let them know, like, hey, this is not my normal realm, but I am willing to enter it at this rate for the opportunity to show what I can do. And generally, most clients, I think brands or people you work with, they'll understand that. They're like, okay, this is kind of like you've shown what you can do. There's value there. You're definitely skilled, but this is something where it's also like a guinea pig type of situation or test trial to see like, what can you do if I give you the ability to really go off in this area? And honestly, sometimes that's my best work.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, sell me this ink pen. You know, I told you that story about and getting put on the spot like that. You know, getting tossed into the deep end or throwing yourself into the deep end. Yeah, that's definitely sweat equity. It
Absolutely.
It definitely is. But once you learn how to swim, you know, don't be in there doing what's that called? Water aerobics or whatever. You know, yeah, no.
Michael doesn't enjoy water aerobics. Hot.
Clearly, right? Yeah. But yeah, take that sweat equity
The only
and
clear
then
liquid I like is vodka.
vodka is great.
Vodka is.
We're
is
not
good for you.
alcoholics at all.
Not at all.
I live soberly. I'm not a part of this.
Oh, it's just us. Fine, whatever. All right, so back to sweat equity, right? So then, what else have we missed? Have we missed anything? Because sweat equity is such a wide-ranging topic.
It really is. Really
It is. You know,
Ooh, actually, fun story. What are the situations that you've personally been in when it comes to sweat equity? Ooh, let's get a little personal here.
Okay. I'll go.
We don't have to name names, unless you want to.
no.
Shoot.
I don't want to get
No.
sued.
Yeah, right.
I've had sweat equity happen to me. I work for fashion shows and stuff like that. I was there for 2 weeks or so, and I'm generally a competent production person, operations person. And came in and went 2 months later, and then called from the executive director, was like, we would really like you to come back. And I was like, okay, sure, let's go to this meeting. Let's see what's going on. And, they were kind of telling me, this is what you'd be doing. And we really want you a part of the team. And I was like, all right, that's great. I put in obviously some really great work. It's always great to hear that someone wants to work with you, right? That's a good sign.
Yes.
Always a good sign, I guess. Unless you're charging too cheap. Don't do that. Anyway, and I just straight up looked at the executive director and I was like, I can't be here if I'm not compensated. And I would love to be a part of this. I really would. But, I know my worth and I want to be paid to be here. And he was just like, okay, let's make sure that happens. How was it?
He didn't budge. Or
No budge.
he didn't try to negotiate. He was like, oh, okay.
No, it was okay.
Yeah, I think you said to know your worth, and I think that's really great. I think it's like cool, great. But what is your worth?
Putting in person.
You know, well, no. What I'm saying is how do you know? And Glassdoor it, do whatever it is you have to do. How do you know what the going rate for what you do is? I think that as creatives, well, how much would you charge for that? You go, you know, you kind of lose it there.
That's a tell for the client or person's like, oh, this person doesn't know what they're doing.
Exactly. So they're going to lowball you.
Yeah.
There. So I would say Glassdoor it. Really look into your career and what you do so that you are competitive and you're not getting taken advantage of. You have to do that. You have to be willing to put in a little bit of work because I know my worth.
Oh, no. How about that? Great.
You know,
Okay.
literally, you need to know your worth.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you they do.
Yeah. There needs to be a measurable number for it. Up your son.
Well, maybe. Well, but you like,
Yeah.
what's the instance of sweat equity for you?
Let's give us some tea.
Oh,
Spill.
well, I'm not going to use Arizona. I am very, very sorry. This happened in Chicago. When I worked in cabarets and in clubs, you would always get booked in, and the first words you would hear at any show director or any bartender or any bar owner or any cabaret owner or any stage manager was the budget.
Oh.
And it seemed like there was always the budget. And we always were doing this just sweat equity.
Yep.
And we're talking live entertainment here. So we're talking rehearsal, all of it, and not getting paid for it. Well, I can say is one show night, that curtain went up and there was nobody on stage.
Oh, wow.
And that solved that problem.
Right?
Take a stand.
Yeah. But people don't show up and say no. It's crazy how fast things change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. They will find the money to pay someone.
Because the show must go.
Exactly. They will find money. And I've not used Arizona for a reason. I am sorry. But in Arizona, I've been very, very fortunate when it comes to suing out. I've been very, very, very fortunate. Of course, you know, as a gray heritage, you don't. So, but so I can't really speak to this area. But I do know what I've seen.
Yeah.
And I have seen people that are with organizations for years, and maybe they thought there was going to be some compensation there. The exposure was probably really good, but I really think that one or two, yeah. But after that, nobody likes to work free. And, you know, and even if it is a budgetary thing, go ahead and say it's a budgetary thing. Most people will understand that once or twice, and as long as you offer them something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that is the crux there. That's the difference. Oh, we don't have it in the budget, and they don't do anything.
Yeah, that actually matters.
You know, or, okay, look, I know the gone rate for this is this, but we can only afford this. That, okay, fine.
And
People are willing to work with you, but just not.
Yeah.
Nothing. So sorry. Thank you for putting in hours and busting your ass. See you next year.
Right?
Yeah, not a chance.
I think a big part of that, too, is knowing when to walk away.
Yes.
So I can definitely attest to the fact that I've been in situations where I was in things for way too long. I put a lot of sweat equity into building my brand and business for different organizations that didn't really value a lot of my work. Or they valued it, but they didn't want to pay or compensate. It can be either way. But I think I've definitely been...
sure.
We're going to hell.
Yeah.
I already do that.
Yeah. there's like organizations where, yeah, you go into it where you want to build a skill set, you want to try something out. At least for me, at least my photography and creative direction and artwork is already had a portfolio.
Yep.
This was definitely a situation where it's like, oh, I want to try this yet.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like what we're talking about earlier. It's like, hey, you want to try something new?
That experimentation.
That experimentation, see what you can do. I'm always the type that if I agree to do something, I know I can do it. I just haven't had the chance to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another part of sweat equity, like I was saying earlier. It's like, yeah, make sure this is a job you can do. Don't just like enter into a situation where you literally, it's like, I don't know if I can do this. It's a trial by fire, literally.
Don't oversell it.
Yeah, don't oversell.
Don't oversell it because it becomes painfully aware that you oversold it.
You oversold it. You can't keep the lie going on for so long. People will start seeing through it eventually. You're like,
I will see through it.
yeah, like,
Don't do that to me.
yeah, if you're supposed to be able to do this, then why are you doing X, Y, Z? It's like, you can tell. But anyways, that was a bit of a detour. Mm-hmm. But yeah, enter those situations where you get to build a skill set. But then after a while, if you set boundaries and you set specific needs and things you need in return, and they still give you the runaround of, oh, there's no budget, or we can't compensate you, or
It's coming.
it's coming, or whatever reason that organizations, contracts, definitely always have
Get contracts. I had contracts. Get contracts.
in many situations.
And we trust all others pay cash. Get it in writing.
Yep.
You know, nobody wants to chase anybody for money.
Yep.
You know,
And then when you set these boundaries and expectations, and the other party does not want to meet that, that's when you walk away. Tells you, it tells you everything. Like we were saying earlier, if after you do that first one for free, and you've already shown what you can do, and they still don't want to pay you or compensate you or give you like the value that you're asking for, they're not gonna see your value.
No, I won't take advantage.
Yeah, they won't take advantage. They want you to keep doing what you're doing at the rate that you currently have, which is really cheap or free. And then you walk away. And sometimes when you walk away, that's when they come back. It's like, so actually, here's the budget. All of a sudden,
all of a sudden they find money.
yeah,
So let me ask you to this because again, I don't know a lot about your fields
Yeah.
at all whatsoever. Could you imagine doing question? Of course. My question is, your profession, what you do, did you choose it or did it choose you?
I don't know. You know, I really, oh my god, oh my god. I definitely think that. So personally, as like a visual artist and stuff like that, I think I connect to art in such a intimate form. Ever since like as a kid and so that all I wanted to do was just like create something. You know, I was in choir for years. I've done piano. I did try sports. It didn't turn out that well. Just like no. But visual art is something I always come back to. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to do it more and more. And it could be like, dumb drawings when you're a kid, but it's always been something that I wanted to do. Yeah.
You guys are insanely talented.
these are Madisons.
And those are Madison. And those are Jeff's. Yep. Same question to you.
So for me, I would definitely say it chose me. I grew up drawing a lot, always doodling, but I never really took it seriously. But it was something I enjoyed doing. It was like very meditative.
Did you like that? You never took it seriously?
Well, by this point, I kind of did actually try.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, it chose me because when I was going to college, growing up with, here's some cultural thing, with an Asian background, Asian family, you don't pursue art. That's not acceptable. Come on now. Gotta be a lawyer, doctor, business person, whatever, right? So art was never really taken seriously. So I went the practical route. I was like, oh, I'm going to go to ASU for business communications.
Weird.
And after a little while in that, it was like, I mean, this is nice and all, but it's not really what I want to do. I'm not really passionate about it. It's just going through the motions. So I ended up leaving and going to the Art Institute of Phoenix, which was crazy for my parents. They're like, what are you doing?
So it was a medical school, so mom wasn't thrilled?
What do you mean? Like, oh, it wasn't yeah, it wasn't
medical school.
It wasn't as practical, I guess, right? It wasn't medical, wasn't a lawyer, wasn't engineering, all of that. The big money jobs. But I still want like the more practical route, graphic design. Like,
Yep.
I could be creative, but it's still practical because it's always in demand. Graphics. Actually, we hope so with AI. Maybe a topic for a different podcast, right?
Different day. Not at
It was a different topic.
Wait, so you get to say it. Not yet.
Yeah,
To a critique or out of a date.
that's a conversation.
But back to my story. But yeah, I went to graphic design, graduated. I was able to start getting more creative. But it wasn't until... But even then, I was an in-house designer. But I had to follow certain rubrics and guidelines for the brand that didn't allow me to be creative or an artist, which made it very difficult. I got bored. All the time. I'm like, yeah, I can do these templates, But it wasn't until, thankfully, not thankfully, one of those, when a door closes, another one opens.
I understand.
Yeah. COVID happened. I got laid off, and as a lot of people did in a very difficult time, I decided to take that opportunity to start my own business. And then I also came up with a really great camera at the time. So I just started creating my camera. And thankfully, all the skill set that I've developed in art, in graphic design, and branding kind of just transferred over. And that's kind of where everything just went. It was very, in a lot of ways, it was organic. Like, I try to ignore it, but I can never get away from the creative side of things.
Just that.
Nope. It was always like that poke, just a hey,
Just
don't, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same for me. I went to college late in life, the Art Institute, and I
Went to school together.
I have a background in finance and accounting. When I decided it was going to be fashion and finance, and the reason that I chose fashion was because it was the only thing in my life that had always been in my life, and as far as I could see, would probably always be in my life. So since, the economy being what it is, and me knowing that retirement isn't never going to happen, I better like what I do.
Yeah.
I think that's it. So what it is, all right, let me ask some. Walk me through your creative process. Yeah,
That's all mine over here.
process.
I would say, as I said, I did choir for like 10 years. And, it was crazy when I said, like, I don't want to sing for music. I really don't. Don't like me as the choir teacher either, that those know. So, but, music is something that, like, I connect to. Like, I can understand the lyrics, the sound, and all of these things. But it's always, like, I can understand it visually through my head.
Okay,
So,
quick.
yes, so that.
Jeff, I need you to lean up here. Would you sing for us?
Not right now.
Please?
Not right now.
Come on.
Hell no.
Right? Come on.
No, don't make me do this.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Do it.
My voice is so gonna crack. Just do this thing like there. I have.
Damn, oops, sorry.
Putting Madison on the spot.
You're gonna get PTSD of like my freaking voice placement.
You do be alright.
Is this actually happening?
Yeah, come on. Mary had one lamb.
All right, guys, are you ready for this?
Let's go.
Let's go.
At the top. So I'm not trying to think like, do I want to do the Sweeney Todd though? Because I do love Sweeney Todd.
I personally would prefer you didn't do anything that had anything to do with knives. I'm feeling rather insecure.
Insecure? Yikes. I mean, okay. Let me think. Think of me fondly when we say goodbye. Remember me once in a while. Please promise me I'll try. And if you think of me, just a little of me. And I totally messed up the lyrics. If you ever find a moment, spare a thought for me.
Oh, wow.
10 years. Love that.
Okay.
I don't know. No one from that place finds that because y'all are gonna critique it. I know.
That gal can sing.
Generally.
Honestly, that was the first time I've ever heard Madison sing.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just trying to bond.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Damn.
That was very.
I told you I connect to music. There was it there. Thank you, Mom, for pushing me into it.
Okay, audience. So make sure in the comments that you put your requests for Madison to sing.
Next episode. No, just kidding. Well, no, go to comments and hype her up because that was phenomenal.
That was amazing.
Yeah, just shake.
That was I couldn't do it. Could you do it? I couldn't do it. No.
You guys don't want to hear me sing.
No, not at all. In all seriousness about that, with the audience, we really do want you to engage with us.
Yes.
You know, if there's a topic that you want to hear or something you want us to cover or help me out.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I just got everyone, Artist Archive family, you know, leave some comments below of things, topics that you would like us to discuss, cover in the future, anything in the creative industry. It could even be questions that you want to ask us in terms of from our experience, maybe some inside knowledge, tips that we can provide, and then we'll do what we can to respond. You know, either cover it on the podcast or give that type of feedback and knowledge in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because at the end, we want to be able to provide that value.
Yeah, we totally want to connect with you guys and all of that. And tell us what you thought of what we talked about today. Tell us what you think, for sure.
Be kind. Be kind.
I don't want arguments in the comments. Nah, not today.
What if we were to ask the audience a question for them to answer in the comments?
I like that. Okay. Okay.
Do you want to ask? Let's see, something in the creatives. Oh, actually, this could actually tie into the whole topic.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to see change in the creative industry?
What do I don't want to see anymore? Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what?
Lord.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah.
Because we've given our input and our insight, but we would love to hear from you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we will read some of the comments online. So, you know, no, Jeff will read some of the comments online
Allowed.
aloud. And we will try our best to get you insightful, intelligent answers as best that we can.
We'll respond to you in a substantive way on a discussion post, and it will be 5 to 10 sentences, just like what your college professors tell you to do. I'm going to write a paragraph for you. That can't happen, though. Read that critique.
And again, I think, actually, just a quick recap as we finish off. What has this experience been like for each of you in terms of building out what we've been building out for Artist Archive podcast?
Yo, we start.
Why keep bitches looking at me?
You know, honestly, it's been really fun because it's only promoted really great conversations between us and stuff like that. Like, even talking about, like, what we want to talk about, what are we going to stand for. That is so exciting to talk about to me. Like, I am a person that really likes in-depth conversation. I hate small talk. Please don't ask me about the weather. And I'm like, it sucks. It's hot. What else do you want? I don't know why y'all want to be here, but all right. But, you know, I think it's so great that we're having real conversation. I'm just having so much fun doing it. Even if you made me sing.
Yeah. And I think this whole process has allowed us to kind of get to know each other even better, right? Get closer, and even just understanding the creative industry as a whole. Like, we all have our own area where we have insight in, but then just hearing from your guys' perspectives, it's like we all kind of deal with the same thing.
Damn.
I really do.
I call them for the same lives.
We're all on the same tree.
That's the tree.
For me, this we talked about this. there is nobody, and I mean this from the bottom of my cold black little heart. There is nobody I would want to go on this journey with other than Houston. There is absolutely no, and I totally mean that. You know, to be given this opportunity at this stage of my life, when most people are like, that I know are probably planning for retirement or something, or they won a lotto, or died. I'm just saying. Yeah,
Nice.
we're old.
All right.
We're old.
All right.
But to be able to have this opportunity is just almost surreal for me. It is absolutely surreal for me, and I.
Yeah, same for me.
I'm never lost for words, but with this one, yeah, I'm at lost for words.
It's so cute. The universe works in such weird ways, guys. I love it.
What?
I guess
The planets are aligned, you know.
that is true.
No, seriously, they are.
Like today?
Well, I think it's,
Where you go?
it's like this week, but really, really close, yeah.
It's a sign. It's a sign. Oh, so yeah, as far speaking of journey, you know, I'm glad that we're going on this journey, and I'm glad that we have our viewers going through this journey with us, and we're excited to keep building it out and bringing more conversations. And I'm really excited about the next guest. We won't name it who it is yet, but
You're looking at
no, not yet. Really? Yeah, it's gotta be surprised. Yeah, you got watch the second episode to find out who it is.
It's a good word, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one.
Yes.
All right, so stay tuned.
Yes.
We're excited,
And that
Is that it?
and that's it. Well, thank you guys. We're closing out here, but see you guys next time at the Artist Archive podcast.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.